What's good? Good morning. My back hurts, my shoulders hurt, my neck hurts, my knees hurt. Everything hurts. I've just been working a lot lately, and I'm blessed and I'm thankful for that because it's putting me on the path to buying land, which is my ultimate goal in life. And that's why I currently live in a minivan, and why I work 2 jobs, because I'm just trying to just get ahead enough to get a few acres to my name. This economy is so crazy. I was doing my laundry yesterday, and I was sitting in my van parked in front of the establishment, and I saw someone go in with a shopping cart full of crap, and I was like, oh, this is going to lead to a story. And so I saw them go in, and it was time for me to go switch my laundry. So I go in, and upon entering, I see that this person with the shopping cart had just spread all of their stuff out all over one side of the laundromat. And they were barefoot in a sketchy Seattle laundromat. I'm pretty sure they were homeless. Which was really sad, a black gentleman. But even with my headphones on and me just like trying to be focused in the zone, he engaged me in conversation. And what I often try to do in moments where I feel some, uncertainty in how to proceed, I will ask myself, what would Jesus do? And so I'm not a Christian, but I do think Jesus had some good teachings, particularly around compassion and love. And so I tried my best to just cultivate an energy of compassion and love for this homeless person who just wanted some human interaction, and who just wanted some dignity, who just wanted to be seen, which actually leads to a real quick side story. I was going to make a whole nother video on this, but I won't. I saw a panhandler with a sign that said, "At least give me the bird." And that struck me because, again, it connects back to just wanting to be seen. I think, I live in Seattle, Washington, and Seattle's full of a bunch of virtue signaling, champagne socialist people who don't actually do anything about the problems in their community. And the homeless people, they know that. The homeless people, they know that the rich people around them avoid them, go out of their way to not interact with them. And it hurts. I can speak from my own experience of not being seen, that it hurts. When you're surrounded by people and you are not being seen or able to be seen, it sucks. And I haven't even got to the title of this whole video yet, and I wanted to talk about all of that first to frame this idea that I'm a working class man. And I do not in the slightest, do I feel represented by the progressives in Seattle or the progressives in this country. Not in the slightest. It seems to me that for some weird reason, there is a huge focus on sexuality and sexual identity and grooming children or murdering babies. The progressive movement, to me, all I see is LGBTQIA plus trans wolfarian people MAP rights. MAP. The fact that we have a term for it that is becoming normalized. A MAP is a minor attracted person, also known in my day as a pedophile. They're trying to normalize this stuff. It is fucking gross. And I think I said this in a recent video also, but when not only do I not feel represented by the left in the slightest, I actually feel resented by them with all of this straight white male is the devil shenanigans coming out. Men are trash. Whiteness is patriarchy. Whiteness is colonialism. Whiteness is bad. Men are bad. There is so much propaganda designed around just demoralizing men, and it's worked for years. But it can only work for so long, and the pressure that builds as a result of suppressing all this shit, it leads to things like Nick Fuentes, like Tucker Carlson, like Candace Owens. If you're asking yourself why these people are growing in popularity, well, A, because, you know, we have social engineers who like to control the narrative, but B, because it is beneficial at this time now to weaponize the angst that has been building for decades in the core of men. So we have this situation where I feel like a piece of shit. I'm the enemy to them. And they are also just throwing it in people's faces. The whole, you know, we're coming for your kids thing. Oh my gosh. The San Francisco Men's Choir literally made a song. And all of the books that are in the schools, it's not an exaggeration to be like, what the fuck is the left doing? Why do they care so much about all of this sex stuff and not at all about the working class? How has the working class, when Joe Biden, for example, because Trump's only been president again for a year, right? So you have to imagine what happened for the 4 fucking years that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were in office. LGBTQ rights are not hold on, I'm sorry. I was on a flow and I lost it. I'm sorry. Let me try to get back on track. LGBTQ rights are not working class issues. Working class issues are food, fire, shelter, water. It's so funny. That was one of the very, very first YouTube videos I made like 5 years ago. Go check it out. Go to like the very beginning of my channel. That's when I was like first starting to struggle with homelessness. And I talked about, you know, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you do not have food and water, there's no point in thinking about anything else, right? So if you're not familiar with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's this sort of template for the human experience and a roadmap to self-actualization. And so picture a pyramid. You know what? I'm just going to clip a picture right here. Okay. You should be familiar with it. But to ascend to self-actualization, there are rungs. There are things you need to achieve and accomplish before you can move up, before you can ascend. Don't put the cart in front of the horse, as they say. And so food, fire, shelter, water cover your bottom 2 rungs, your security and nourishment needs. Those are working class issues. Once you get up to the social level, when you have the ability to just relax and actually care about society and about your community. But until you get there, it's pointless to try and think about your gender identity. That's not to say those aren't important issues to discuss. However, We are currently in a situation where a large portion of people do not have physical and psychological security, as well as physical and psychological nourishment. We are fucked as a world right now. The ruling classes have done so well at dividing us. And all of these woke culture war issues are great ways for them to drive a wedge between us, the actual working fucking class. I'll end the video there. It was a rambling one, but thank you very much. Much love.